Well, it must have just stopped, but it's back on now.
Okay, con.
But see, it's gonna get to a point where people are gonna be so desperate for food, and there ain't gonna be no cash out here, because hey, the world is leading to a cashless society. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
You got money on your cell phone right now as we speak. All I gotta do is swipe your cell phone. If I got your fingerprint or your password, I got access to your chip. I got access to your money. But guess what? That's gonna be a thing of the past come here real soon, man. This devil is gonna come with the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. All right. And if you don't get it, you're gonna be asked out.
You're basically forfeiting your right to drive, forfeiting your right to be an American. Travel, you can't do a damn thing without it. Okay, it's like money, like a regular ID. You're not gonna. That is gonna be your new ID. The driver's license and shit. That's all gonna be obsolete.
Your social security number. Hey, you ain't gonna need to memorize your social security number no more. You're gonna have it implemented in your hand.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. Forever.
Yep, forever. Unless somebody chop your hand off.
Yeah. You're the same.
But hey, real quick, just to say this, because we're gonna get into it here in a little while. This is all a part of Esau's plan. Yep. This is all a part of the so-called white man's plan to get you people to gear to what he's about to push, because things are getting. This so-called white man has set things up since the '60s, all right, through executive orders, which we're gonna get into here in a little bit.
Right.
And if you don't have those, once he takes everything from you, if you don't have this chip, you ain't gonna have access to anything. All right, but we're gonna get into that later. But read that again, verse 16.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or their forehead.
All right, so it don't matter who you are, where you from, all right, what country you live in, all right. If you don't get this mark, because this is being pushed out around the whole four corners of the earth, man. That's why the so-called white man has embassies in everybody's backyard. That's why he has military bases throughout the whole world, because when time comes to push this devil, Esau, he's going to push this no matter what, and he's going to push it forcefully, okay? He's going to push it whether you like it or not, all right? He's going to push it no matter what. So, hey, you listening to it right now, you don't like it. You twitching and stuff because you don't like the message, but guess what? It's going to come in time and place with this so-called white man is going to push it down your throat whether you like it or not, man. He's going to send police troops to your house, and he's going to gather you up, and he's going to separate the man from the wife. He's going to separate the kids. He's going to send them off to concentration camps, and if you don't get that chip, you ain't going to live. You ain't going to eat. You ain't going to see your family again. What do you think Donald Trump is doing to the Mexican kids out there in Mexico that he gathered up? You think he's just letting them go back to his parents free willy-nilly? You're out of your damn mind, man. You best believe them kids are getting chipped, man. You best believe that the parents want to see their kids are getting a microchip implanted, man. All right?
And that's not going to be talked about, all right? You might hear about it, on an alternative news website, but you're not going to hear about it on no mainstream media. That's all on the wraps. Okay, so they want to bring it out. They want to implement it piece by piece by piece. So eventually, when they do bring it out, it's going to be because of a terrorist attack, because the dollar collapsed, and you're going to need something.
Hey, well, that's a reason right there.
Yep.
The dollar collapsing.
Yep.
The dollar collapsing is enough. It's enough for the so-called white man, Donald. It's enough. I'll say this: it's enough for Donald Trump to call a state of emergency here in America. What happened in Greece when the economy collapsed out there just not a few years ago, man? They called a state of emergency. What about that? There was riots out there, man.
And that was happening in all those European countries.
Yep.
Okay, Greece, France.
Right now it's happening in France.
Yeah, Israel got something going on. There's all types of turmoil and conflict going on over there. Okay, and that's why order is going to have to be established, and they call it the New World Order. Okay, and that's basically his end goal. That's his enterprise. He wants to bring his enterprise into fruition.
Yep.
Okay, and once it is, then he knows he has control over every entity on the planet Earth. All right.
Well, let's get into that, man. Bubba Kashar, if you can get the Deuteronomy 15, verse 17, Bubba Kashar. Because that's what the so-called white man wants, man. That's why he's pushing this mark. Because when you go into that word mark, when you go into the word mark in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 through 17, the mark of the beast, that word mark in the Greek there is charagma, which means a mark or a badge of servitude, an incision. Okay? 15 verse 17. Well, just hold that real quick. And all right, because that's what it is, man. If you get that RFID microchip, you're basically telling Esau that you want to be his servant and you want to serve him forever. All right, so get that real quick, Bubba the Shark. Yep.
This is Deuteronomy chapter
Getting
15.
straight to the point, man.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 17.
We'll read one verse above, Bubba the Shark. 16. Bubba the Shark.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 16. And it shall be, if they unto thee, I will not give away from thee. I will not go away from thee, because the loveth thee in the house, because he is well with thee.
All right, so that was a law that was given unto the Israelites, that if the servant didn't want to leave thee, that he wanted to stay with thee because he was pleased, he wanted to continue to serve thee. This is what you had to do. Continue reading.
Then thou shalt take an awl, thrust awl, so I can awl, and thrust it through his ear to the door.
Time.
And
Said
he,
it? No, that's not finishing.
and he shall be thy servant forever, and also unto the maid servant thou shalt do likewise.
Exactly, man. So you would just take him. If a servant wanted to be your servant forever, if he wanted to continue to serve you, what you would do was you would get an awl and you would pierce him through the ear. All right. And what's an awl? An awl in that Hebrew, it means a boring instrument. Now, to receive the mark of the beast, to receive an RFID chip and plant it into your hand or your forehead or in your ass cheek or in your left titty, it don't matter where you get it. All right. You got to have it bored into your skin, bored into your flesh. With what? What's the boring instrument in this instance? It's a hypodermic needle. It's a needle that has to be injected into your skin. All right, which what the word charagma means, an incision, a cutting into the flesh. That's what it goes back to. Okay, so that's what that's going to be causing. That's how you're going to get that mark into you, man, with that hypodermic needle. Okay, so if you get that RFID microchip, you're basically telling the Lord, I don't want to serve you, Lord. I want to serve Esau. I want to serve this devil and be his servant forever. And what do you think is going to happen to you? What do you? Hey, well, I'll say this. What happened to the other people in the Bible that said that they didn't want to serve the Lord?
I got that too.
Go ahead, that was it on that. That was good at the water.
Okay.
That means a boring instrument, like something to, like you know when you pierce it. You know when you get your ear pierced. First they gotta pierce it with like a stake, and then they put the ear in.
Right, because look what they do to cattle. Okay, when you have a farm of cattle and they're out there grazing, always look at their ear. They always got a tag on their ear. Okay, it's because this so it can know that okay, it's this guy's cattle. All right, and they used to do it with the slaves too. Okay, now in the ear, I don't think what they did with the ear, but they marked them with a we call it a cattle prod type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Branding. Thank you.
Which is the same thing. Because what? It would still make a cutting in the flesh. You still burning the flesh off.
I don't know what else.
You know? You still getting down to the meat.
Yeah, basically.
With the branding.
Damaging the epidermis.
Yeah, hey, which what? They would do that to the slaves.
Yeah.
Esau would do that to the slaves. He would get a hot ass iron and he would brand his slaves. So that if anybody was to find that slave, they would know, okay, he's a part of old Timmy down the road.
Yeah.
We either gonna hang this nigga or we gonna return him so he can get him.
Yeah.
That's hey, it's funny, but that's the history of America, and that's what this so-called white man still wants to do.
On a bigger scale, now it's not just niggas, it's everybody.
Yeah.
It's our own people too.
Hey, Salak, man, it ain't just American history. It's current events.
Current events, baby.
This is what's happening. This is what your society, this is what the elites of this country are trying to do. They are trying to enslave you. They want you to get the RFID microchip so that you can be their slave. So that they can tell you, okay, you got this amount of money in your account if you do this. If you don't, we'll take everything away from you.
What it does, it shows that you're paying allegiance to a power, okay? And our power is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
That's right.
So if you lose faith, then what are you doing? You're saying that, okay, damn, my power is going to be Esau. Let me just go ahead and get the chip because I have faith in the chip If I get the chip, I'll be able to eat tonight. That's what it's showing you. It's showing you have more faith in the so-called white man Esau rather than faith in the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father will feed ravens and birds, okay?
Yeah,
but he ain't gonna feed you, punk ass.
That's the stupidity and simplicity of Jake out here, man. They'll believe that the Lord ain't gonna feed them, that the so-called white man will before the Lord feeds a bird. Come on, man. You guys out your mind, man.
Outside your mind. Outside your dang mind.
You took thinking outside the box beyond thinking outside the box,
But
man.
I see you in
You Jake forgot about the Lord, man. You people out here don't have faith in the Lord, man. You don't.
I got it.
Go ahead, Art.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 24. This is Yahushua speaking, the one the world calls Christ. It says, "Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and the Most High feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls?"
Huh, so the Lord feeds birds. Every day a bird don't wake up worrying how the hell am I gonna feed my little chicklings in the nest? But what we do,
Yeah.
well, I'll say this, not we,
Yeah.
you people do,
Yeah.
because the men of the Lord have faith in the Lord that we're gonna eat every day. And if not every day, we're gonna eat before we perish.
Yep. We're not gonna die of starvation. The Lord's gonna,
Yeah.
He might be afflicting us for a moment,
Yep.
okay, but after you hold your faith, what the Lord's gonna give you a meal, okay? He'll give you shelter. He'll do whatever it is, whatever you're lacking, the Lord will always provide it. But you gotta understand that we're different than the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field, okay? We're different. We're a special creature. So the Lord's not gonna do us like that. He's gonna try us. He's gonna try our faith.
And just a quick side note, this ain't talking about everybody, man.
No.
That scripture ain't talking about everybody.
No, yeah,
That's
no.
talking about the Israelites, man.
Yep.
The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Those are the ones that don't need to be worried about eating, man. They don't need to be worrying. Hey, man, the Lord feeds the birds. Don't worry about eating, man. And that goes for the Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You white people, you better worry about eating tonight, man.
You will starve.
Yeah,
I
man.
promise that. all right?
You Moabites, you Ammonites, whatever other nation you are outside of the nation of Israel, you better worry about eating tonight, man. You better worry about having a roof over your head, and you better worry about having your life tonight, man. Because at any minute the Lord will take you out, man, because you ain't worth a goddamn, man. It's lucky for my language, but that's just how it is, man. You know? Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 14. I'll start at verse 9.
Oh, you got it. I was about to tell
That's the
you
one?
to get it.
Yep, here it is.
Yeah.
Revelation.
So like,
Yep, yep.
because this is what's gonna, this is the condemnation that's gonna come if you get this RFID microchip, man.
Yep.
So you lack faith in the Lord. You lack faith in the Lord. You don't feel like the Lord is gonna feed you. So you go to the so-called white man. You go to Esau. You go to the government to get this RFID microchip implanted into your hand, because that's the only way you're going to be able to eat in these last days. That's the only way you're going to be able to drink water in these last days. That's the only way you're going to have a roof over your head in these last days, right? So you go to the so-called white man because you lack faith.
Straight.
Well, this is what's going to happen to you if this is you, if that fits your bill in that day. This is what your receipt is going to look like.
Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9.
That's right.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, "If any man worship the beast, all right, and his image, and receive his mark."
Hey, so if you want to be a part of this system that's getting ready to get rolled out here, which is a majority of you Americans out here, a majority of you Americans want the New World Order to come. You want to be a slave, and you want to be locked up in some concentration camp along with your dumbass picking and making shirts, man. You want to be a servant, because that's all you people really are. A bunch of servants. That's all you've been breeded your whole life, to be a servant. You wake up every day, you go to work. You've woken up since you were a little kid, going to daycare, going to pre-K, going to middle school, high school, college. Every day of your life, you've been breeded to be a slave and to follow a schedule. So when the time comes for this New World Order, the image of the beast, to get pushed out, you people are going to be all for it, man, because it's going to be like the norm.
Yep.
It's going to be the norm to you. So you're gonna be okay with it. So if you worship the beast, and then you get his image, or you get his mark, which is the RFID microchip, implanted into your hand and your forehead, this is what's gonna happen. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, read that part
This
again.
is the scriptures. This is the book of Revelation in the New Testament. Go ahead.
If any man worship the beast being the Roman Empire in the reincarnation, okay, this NATO system that's going on, worship the beast and his image, okay, the philosophies of said beast, okay, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So it says if you decide to receive this mark, if you lose so much faith that, you know what, let me just get the mark. Fuck it. Let me just get it. So
I'm starving. I'm starving. I don't want my kids to die because they're starving. My wife is just staring out at the window like the video we seen where she just kept staring out the window.
Oh, God.
You know, she's bugged out. She lost her mind. Well, what? All types of calamities have happened to her. But it's going to be that point in state that you people are going to be in a very poor and desperate state that the devil's going to come at you with this mark of the beast, man.
The devil's going to get you. The devil's going to get you.
And you're gonna cave into it, man. Cause you haven't eaten. Your daughters are being sold off to prostitution.
Yep.
Your sons are dying of starvation. Yep. Your 3-year-old is getting ready to die of a cold, and you can't get no medications. You can't see a doctor.
Yep.
But what? Here comes the so-called white man, the devil, with the plan to make it, man. Get this RFID chip, and I'm gonna give you the medical plan of the lifetime. It's gonna cover everything. You're gonna get the money. You're gonna get your daughter's sickness taken care of. You're gonna get your daughter back from the prostitution ring that she's been sold into.
Yep.
Your wife, her mental illness is gonna be cured. You're gonna get your life back. Just get this mark of the beast.
So you a dream. You know, it's that ordo ab chaos, okay? Because they're gonna start a calamity, and they're gonna magically have the solution. It's that problem reaction solution.
Hey, and if you don't know what order out of chaos is, look at the back of your dollar bill.
It's on there.
And you're gonna know, and then you're gonna see what it is, man. All right? So it means order out of chaos.
Exactly.
And it's been proven that order has been brought out of chaos. Look at after World War II. Look at after World War I. Look at after the Great Depression that happened there in the 30s. Look at the laws that this so-called white man pushed after all those events, and how people easily folded to them. People didn't riot, they didn't protest, they just went along with it because they were in a desperate state.
Yep.
And that's getting ready to happen again here in America. But like a day like none other, man. There's gonna be a great insurrection here in the grounds of America like none other, man.
Right! Verse 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
Man, what's the wine of the wrath of the Most High, man? That's talking about this destruction, man. That's talking about these nuclear missiles.
That's right.
That's what's getting ready to come to this land, man. And for those of you that decide that you want to have lack of faith, that the Most High put that in your spirit to have lack of faith to get this RFID microchip, you're going to get put to death alongside with these devils and heathens, man.
Right.
With the missiles, man. With the 2/3. With the unfaithful. Okay?
Which is poured out without mixture.
Poured out without mixture. So there ain't no nice and spice and everything nice, man. It's just straight raw cinnamon spice, man. That's what it is, man.
Cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, man. Because what? You put that cinnamon, you try to do that cinnamon challenge, but they yak it up, man. It ain't nothing nice, man.
Nah,
it
man.
ain't nothing easy to swallow. We'll say that.
Let's say that. Con. So
It ain't, yeah, Cons, go ahead.
Yeah, so it says again, which is poured out, so it says, drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
His everlasting anger.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone.
So you're gonna be tormented if you get this RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. You're gonna be tormented with fire and brimstone. What's that fire and brimstone? These nuclear missiles that's getting ready to get sent over here to America by Iran, North Korea, China, Russia, every other nation that's gonna hate the horde. Because America's that whore that sits upon the dragon.
That's right.
Babylon.
That's right.
This that great city Babylon, man. You Israelites need to wake up. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to wake up, man. The Most High is calling out to you people, man. He's calling out to the elect. All right? To get up out of here before this destruction cometh, man.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Who's the Lamb? Who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man. That's Yahweh Shai. For you, those of you that don't know, Yahweh Shai, he delivers, he saves. All right, and so you get that RFID microchip. Guess what? It's gonna be in the presence of the Lord and His angels that you're gonna be tormented of, man. We're gonna be looking at you, the men of the Lord, the 144,000 men, the rest of the angels, and Yahweh Shai is gonna be looking down at you, mocking you, looking at you with disdain, man, because you lacked faith and you trusted in man rather than the Lord, man.
Yeah, you're gonna be basically you're gonna be tortured. You're gonna be tortured in the presence of Yahweh Shai.
So, like, before you get that, let's get the law on this real quick. All right, get that real quick, dog.
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. You shall not make any cutting in your flesh
That's good.
for the dead.
Yep. Hey, that's the law, man.
That's the law.
That was a law. That's a law, man. That's a commandment of the Lord. That was in the scriptures. That's a law that the Lord said that is something that the Lord said we cannot do. Make cuttings in thy flesh. If you get an RFID microchip implanted in you with an RFID with a hypodermic needle, you are making a cutting in your flesh. You are getting a needle embedded into your skin to implement a RFID microchip into your skin. That is against the laws of the Most High. And if you're an Israelite, you're going off and you're going to get put to death for it.
He's so contrary. He don't give a damn.
Well, yeah, of course.
Contrary, everything is opposite. It's opposite from the Bible. And just real quick, just to get the like you were saying, the lamb, because it says, he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And you saying it was Yahweh Shai, and I'll just prove it right here. This is the book of St. John, chapter 1, verse 36. And looking upon Yahweh Shai as he walked, he saith, behold, the Lamb of the Most High. All right, so you're going to be tormented in front of the holy angels. And you think about angels, you think it's something sweet. No, this isn't going to be nothing sweet. They're going to be some terrifying creatures standing before you. And then you're going to have the Lamb of the Most High standing right there with them. You're going to be burning and tormented and your flesh being burnt off right there in the presence of the holy angels and the one you call Jesus Christ. Okay, because what? You lost faith. You didn't have faith to continue on and do and just putting it in the hands of the Most High. They say, what? Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you in that position of difficulty.
Hey, what? So like, real quick, I'll say this. They'll say Jesus take the wheel, but they'll have one eye open because they don't have faith.
Yeah, I have faith. They'll be like, yeah, nah.
Oh shit, let me see if I'm swerving to the right or to the left.
Yeah, don't you have faith in that? Yeah, you see? It's like, oh yeah, a little faith.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
okay,
a little faith,
you walking on the water and you start losing faith when you walking on the water. You start sinking. Guess what? You're gonna drown. But you gotta have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai that no matter what He puts upon you, whatever He puts in front of you, you're gonna be able to get through it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You want to get that in Revelation?
Yeah, this is Revelations, chapter 3, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Because I have kept the word of my patience, I will also keep that from the hour of temptation.
Right. So because you kept the word of the Lord's patience, that's Yahweh Shai speaking. It's red letters, right? Yeah. So He's saying, since you kept the word of my patience all the way on to the end.
3 and 10.
Was that? Yeah, 3 and 10. Yeah, 3 and 10. Con. All right. And if you want to get endured to the end, in Matthew 24, I think it's 10. What should we call it? Read it again from the top.
This is Revelations, chapter 3, verse 10.
All right.
Because I have kept my word of my patience, I will also keep you from the hour of temptation.
Because you kept the word of His patience, He's also going to keep you from the hour of temptation. Read on.
Which shall come upon all the world.
And that hour of temptation is when they implement that mark of the beast. And it said what? It's going to come upon what?
To try them.
Wait, read up. To come upon what?
That will come upon the world.
Right, all the world.
All the world.
Okay, so that's going to come upon all the planet Earth. Okay? That's going to come upon France. It's going to come upon Australia. It's going to come upon Sweden. It's going to come upon Japan. Anywhere people dwell, the mark of the beast is going to be there.
Well, I'm gonna get that word real quick there for world. There.
Yeah, just to double check. Yeah,
Well, I know what it means, but
Okay.
I just want to.
Yeah, for
I just wanna
edification's
get
sake.
it for edification's sake.
okay. Well, you get that. Read from down to the end of that again.
To try them that dwell upon the earth.
Okay. See, that's what it says. The earth.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
See, this is the word there for world. All right, where it says that it shall come to pass to try the whole world, right?
Yep.
This is the word there for the Greek. It says oikumene, which means the inhabited earth.
Yep.
So everybody on the planet Earth. So like the brother was stating, the Chinese, whether you are Filipino,
Yep.
whether you are East Indian, whether you are Punjab, whether you are Arab, whether you are South African, yeah, whether you are a redneck, whatever you are, this is going to come to the whole world. The RFID microchip is coming to the entire world, the oikumene, man.
Oikumene. Yep.
Okay.
Oikumene sense. So that it clearly says oikumene there. If you go into the Greek, and that means the entire inhabited earth.
Yep.
All right. So that our temptation is gonna take over everybody. It's gonna be put upon everybody. Okay. No matter where you live. And Israelites dwell everywhere on the earth. This is for the Israelites. So it's saying that Israelites dwell all over the world. Okay. So you're gonna be tried in that day. But if you keep the word of His patience, the Lord's gonna save you. Go ahead. With the
Because really that mark of the beast is really the last judgment call. That's the last thing to seal your judgment right there. If you get that or not,
no turning back. Baby.
ain't no turning back. Now you might not get it and still get to put to death,
Of course.
but that's gonna be a big judgment call right there, man.
It doesn't mean that because you didn't take the mark of the beast that you're still part of the elect.
But if
Okay?
you do get it, you best believe that
not
you
part
gonna
of
get
the
put
elect. Yeah,
you best believe that no matter what, you're gonna get put to death. Now, if you don't get it, that don't mean you're gonna survive.
No, it doesn't.
You might get put to death.
Let me just say this because there's a real small chance for everybody out here that's gonna make it. Because
Yeah, okay.
you see, that's pride. You know.
Hey, what 2 Ezra 8 verse 50 says? For many great miseries shall come upon the people that dwell in the world in the latter days, because they have walked in great pride.
See that?
Roughly paraphrasing,
Yeah.
of course.
Now she said, "I'm gonna make it." You still got the Matthew?
I got the Matthew.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
But he that shall endure unto the end,
Right.
the same shall be saved.
One more time.
But he that shall endure unto the end,
Uh-huh.
the same shall be saved.
He that endured to the end. So that bitch, she got pride saying that I'm gonna make it. Well, guess what? He that endures to the end. So you better believe that if you're a man, you better hope that your man's an Israelite first and foremost, and you better hope that you're an Israelite, and you better hope that he has the spirit to endure unto the end. Meaning that what?
And he has the Spirit of the Lord on him.
He had the Spirit of the Lord on him, because if he don't have the Spirit of the Lord on him, he can endure to the end just for the missiles.
Yep.
All right, but endure to the end means keeping that patience, keeping that faith, all the way unto the end, right before the missiles drop. Then guess what? Then maybe there's a chance that you could be saved.
Hey, well, what Paul say? Well, I'll get it.
Please,
I'm gonna get it.
yeah, man, because there's a lot of people out here that think that this is it's just you're gonna make it to heaven. All right, that's not how this thing works. You're just gonna fly up into a cloud and you're gonna be there forever, ever, even forever. No, it don't work like that for everybody. Okay, that's for the elect. And the ones that are going to be, and the others that are not part of the elect, that are going to be saved, so to speak, they're either going to be saved for slavery or to be a concubine. It ain't going to be saved in the, to gain the kingdom of heaven, to live in the riches. You have to have actual faith that the Heavenly Father is real and the Son is real, and He's going to come back not only to save but also to destroy. If you don't have faith in that, then guess what? You will not make it unto the end. You will not endure. You will get that microchip. You will go to Walgreens and get that microchip. You will send your children. You will sign the permission slip for your children to go to school so they can put the microchip in your child at school. You go to the office and microchip day, RFID chip day. Everybody, you got to sign the permission slip and get it. You better believe some shit like that's gonna happen. But y'all don't believe, y'all just think that what we're saying is far-fetched. You look at the IUIC, they're still talking about the that the RFID chip is only for, thank you, GPS. Yes, it is for GPS, but not only for GPS. You gotta be a simp to believe it's only for GPS. When you have all this technology out here showing you that it's much more than that. Okay? It keeps it's GPS, yes, but it's also it stores information, such as what your banking information, dummy.
What do they have on clothes? Do they have an RFID tag on it,
Yep.
so that they can see this when you scan it? When you scan the RFID tag on clothes, it tells you what it is.
John, see?
So how is that GPS? And they're gonna put a GPS tag on clothes at JCPenney's, so they can see where they sold it off.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you wore that sweater. You wore that sweater to Seattle. Oh, this nigga's in Seattle. Nah, it don't work that way, man. It don't work that way, man. Okay? Yes. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, all they're doing is marketing themselves. These people market themselves. They can market the profits all they want. It's all right. At this point, I mean, we with each other. We with the brothers were together. Okay? And even more important than that, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua is camped around us. You got angels that camped around us right now. Yeah, you know what can do no damage to us up here. Okay? We have faith that Yahweh Shem Yahshua is real. What you want to call it on? Because this kingdom is about finished. Let me get something real quick. Because this kingdom is about finished. And the Edomites, and it's really only Edomites that are laughing. It's you Edomites that are laughing. This is the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 5. It says that verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? So your joy, your triumphing is but for a moment. 500 years. That ain't shit. That's a blink. That's half a day, my dude.
Well, think about how long we ruled during the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah,
That was
a
1,000
day.
years, man.
A day.
Yeah, that was a day.
Yeah.
But it was still longer than what America has been ruling.
Yeah.
Than this so-called white man has during his rebirth. You know?
Yeah. What do you call it? The Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fuck ass.
We still ruled longer than you, since you've been in power, man.
Because all this is, this is all just the Roman Empire brought back again. It never really died. It just hit with a mortal wound.
Well, I'll get that.
Yeah, you want to get that. It was just hit with a mortal wound, okay, and it laid back for a while other nations took power, chiefly the nation of Israel. But we wasn't calling ourselves Israelites like that, okay? It was calling us, they were calling us Moors, all right? But, you know, we still kept names like Judah. That's why when you go to Africa, you see, we call it Fort Judah, things like that. Okay, that was during our rulership. All right, our kingdom, all that King Arthur shit. That's Jake. That's Negroes. That's Southern tribe. Okay, those are Negroes. You don't want to believe it, but that's what it was. All right, King Arthur or King Henry, you know, that was all Negroes. Okay, you got the
This is Revelation, chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 1.
Yeah.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast.
Real quick, and this is the same chapter what we were just reading, the mark of the beast. Read on.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
All right. So now we're looking at that beast, a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. It's not an actual monster. Okay. It's not a vision of a monster that just rose up out of the